All right. I think we're back. I had to close Streamlabs. For some reason, Streamlabs just decided to die.
Alright, I see it on YouTube. There we go.
Yeah, it does look like we're back. Okay.
Cool.
So sorry for everyone who was on the stream who got kicked off. And so sorry for those who are watching the VOD who have to come back to a second video. I didn't want to do this. Also, I'm so sorry I slept for you. So sad. But Streamlabs gave up the ghost and decided to die. You know what's funny? Gave up the ghost. I didn't really think about that phrase and what it meant. But when you break it down, it's a really funny statement.
I've also never heard that statement before.
You never heard give up the ghost?
No, it's another made-up thing you just said.
I admit, I think it comes up a lot more over in Europe. Like it's an English, English phrase.
Those Brits saying their funny little nonsense stuff.
I don't know. I find that the phrase "give up the ghost" is a really fun one. Just means that you're just like, well, I'm dead. Here's the ghost. Gone. What do you mean by boomer age? That's more of a like, oh goodness, a word for
Gen X.
No, shut up. Fuck you. For someone who has it's very worldly view.
Dang, I was hoping when I googled this phrase it would say it's from like the 1800s.
Yeah, fuck you.
No, I see it's been used in like 2010. Dang.
It's a very worldly view. Man, I'm not famous enough for it to have this many haters. Y'all need to lay off. Anyway, back to the subject we were talking about. I don't know. I implement relationships in a game when I feel like relationships would add to the story. I don't do so.
It would make sense.
I don't do so frivolously, and I don't do so, I don't do so very frequently. And I think that's just a group thing. I remember this guy, man. It's just the kind of like elitist gamer who's like a nice guy kind of situation. Like he's a genuinely nice person, but he also thinks he's better at gaming in general than you are.
Ew.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, I want to like you, I do, but man. Anyway, he was just like, you're not a great DM unless one of your players gets married in your game. And I'm like,
what a weird stipulation.
I'm like, but what if your players don't want that kind of game, I've been doing this for 20 years and I've never had a player want to get married in a game.
No, it sounds fucking horrible. I would never want to do that.
I mean, your bias aside, it just hasn't come up.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. So like a lot of the criteria was just like what he deemed were impressive moments that make any narrative better, and they had to be in a game. And I'm just like, sometimes your story just doesn't have relationship stuff. Like, let's look at Dragon Ball Z, right? There's no relationship stuff in Dragon Ball Z, and Goku has 2 kids.
Whenever it happens, it's off screen. The closest we got was in Super, between the little like been married for 20 years of Vegeta and Bulma.
True.
That's the most you get.
And when the God of Destruction backhand his wife, he's just like, "Don't touch my Bulma!"
Or the stuff that's like where Vegeta learns that Kakarot doesn't know what kissing is.
Yeah.
like that stuff. I mean, yeah, not every story needs to be romance, and romances can work in tabletop. I just want nothing to do with it. Don't involve my character. That's mine.
Hell, even fucking JoJo's doesn't really have romances in them, really.
They happen off screen.
Well, that's the same thing as Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's trying to remember. Let's see. I'm downloading all of my JoJo knowledge. There was one that happened on screen, and that was part 1.
That's fair.
Oh no, there was another one. There was another, but it wasn't really talked about. It was just this character likes this character, and that's it.
Well, that doesn't even count as a romance.
Yeah, it wasn't even a romance, but it's essentially there's been one romance in JoJo.
And hell, like even like no, never mind. I was gonna use Fullmetal Alchemist. There's some flirting on screen, but that's about it. But there's some other characters that have romantic subplots.
I mean, the main romance plot happens at the end of the series.
Well, I mean, it's a thing that comes up, but
it's a culmination of a lot of like scenes. That's all it is.
Yeah, but there's like other characters beyond the main characters who have romances on screen.
That's true.
So that's not necessarily a good example. But the thing is you can have wonderful stories without romances. Oh my god, fucking Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings doesn't have any romances in it besides maybe Frodo and Sam.
You're forgetting Arwen exists. Arwen and Aragorn.
Oh.
Yeah. That's like the
I was just like elf name.
Oh yeah. No, sorry.
Which elf?
I've been embroiled in Lord of the Rings for a little bit because I've been possibly getting into the tabletop scene for Lord of the Rings.
I don't know, because I read the books and that one was it was barely mentioned, and
it happens more in the movie, to be honest, but there is a romance there. The other romance,
but again, it's not like a huge thing, and it doesn't. It's not even important. Aragorn would have become king regardless.
Yeah,
sorry.
It was important to. Honestly, it was just important to Arwen and Elrond. I was about to say Eldrad, but that is a 40k character. Elrond, because he's basically has to deal with the fact his daughter's gonna die.
Yeah. So
that's some Lord of the Rings like nerd lore for you.
And I guess that is kind of in amounts. I would say in the grand total of Lord of the Rings, it makes it less than 5% of what the narrative's actually about.
There are 3 scenes where that matters.
But like, if you cut that out, Lord of the Rings will still be Lord of the Rings. It's not really that important. True. And like, oh fuck, I forget what the one with Bilbo is called.
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit. That's what it is. Hobbit doesn't have really anything like that either. It's just something they shoehorned strangely into the movie.
You described all 3 of those movies as weird shoehorns. That's all those are.
Well, yeah, for the Hobbit movies, for sure. Because that doesn't happen in the book. That's not even mentioned. Legolas doesn't even show up in the fucking book. They're just like, we need to have Legolas in here because character recognition.
Though at least in like the grand lore, he actually had a reason to be there. So there was a reason. It was still definitely because they're like, you know this character.
You know this elf boy.
Yeah. In like the actual lore, he had a reason to be there. Movie decision, executives had one thing on their mind.
And don't get me wrong either. From the perspective of someone who I also love like rom-coms and romantic, some romance movies, not all of them. Some of them are just very weird and like, it's like people desperately trying to be in love for some reason.
Weird. It's very strange.
And it's not my thing. But I like when romance is done well. I like when anything is done well in a story. I hate when it's done just for the sake of having it in there.
Yep. Something, if I'm actually going to start working in screenplays and like Hollywood stuff, I'll have to deal with. Here's a really cool script. Yeah, add a romance in there. Ugh.
Yep. Add a sex scene.
Add a forced romance with characters that have no chemistry, because the story doesn't really necessitate it.
Yep. And that's like, that's also another thing, is those kind of things make people think. That's the terrible thing. It breeds a culture of people that think that movies are all just like, it's like we were talking about the newest like JoJo's, right? And how it's kind of just very weirdly written, and the female characters really don't act like female people really do.
No.
And that's not entirely on the writer's fault either. There's a lot of pushback about it in kids that time. But then people get this idea that like there's no well-written female characters, and then you get female main character roles who are designed to like appease that crowd, who are just done terribly.
There's some great female characters. I named
There's
cat after one
wonderful. Yeah, fuck yeah, fucking Ripley.
Yep. Ellen Ripley is, I would say, one of the coolest action heroes ever. Like, she is fucking awesome. And when it came down to me getting my cat and naming her, I was like, well, I want a name for like a badass, like I want a movie reference, and if I'm gonna get like a movie reference, I want it to at least be a badass character. And I was like, oh, Ripley, yeah. And I got my cat. Her original name was fucking Sweet Pea. I was like, that's gotta go. And so then I decided, who's the most badass like woman in fucking film history? Ellen Ripley, played by the great Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
Agreed. Also, those movies are great. So,
And talking about something more relevant, not relevant, but more, I guess relevant to the current day. Arcane. Arcane has a lot of strong female leads, and I thought they were all really well done. Yeah,
Jinx and Vi were very, very well written. I can't wait for season 2 where they'll make Caitlyn a little more, because it was pointed out, and I agree, Caitlyn is just kind of there.
Yeah.
Sadly, she's very cool. The stuff she does is fun. I can't wait for her to actually have like, I think, a stronger character. I also can't wait for season 2 to really expand on the character arc of Imagine Dragons. I love that they're in there. It's so funny.
And it was a very female heavy cast too.
It was.
I didn't do the numbers, but I think it's.
I mean, Jinx and Vi were on screen most of the time.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like from all the story plots, because there's Medarda too, who is a very interesting.
Yeah, that was the lady who works with Silka, right?
No. That was, I want to say her name is Yvonne. Yeah, Medarda's the counselor.
Oh, she's great. I like her.
Yeah, I like her a lot, and her mother was also an interesting character.
It was very fun to see a Noxian. I was like, oh shit, she's Noxian. Because I didn't catch it. They had to say it to me. Because I don't know that much about legal art.
Savika, that's what it was.
Also, if you noticed in the in Arcane, I know Caitlyn's mom was the first to grab the gun when like trouble was going down.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's Arcane was had a lot of like good writing for that. It was a very strong, well-written female characters. I'm glad they weren't like treated like in-game female characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of those designs need to get updated to not just be fucking like sex appeal.
They did that in Ruined King.
Yeah, Miss Fortune's great.
I love her new outfit.
I love like her character is just like because when you look at her just in the game, it's like a pinup model. Like obviously just like you can tell with her skins like what she's meant to be. But then in the actual games and animations, she's like a really interesting character with like this large element of just anger and rage. It's very cool. She's one of my favorite characters in Ruined King.
Yeah. I'm not gonna bash the original concept though, as far as like what it builds into her narrative, because she dressed fluidly. She used it to get advantage of people, and it was in a time when she was very downtrodden and very like in the dumps, you know. And so kind of going to that lifestyle because it's really easy to get an advantage. I think that's an interesting character concept. I think femme fatales and characters who use their sexuality as weapons are good.
You know, I would be more lenient if it wasn't like every other female character is like that.
I agree too. Yeah.
If it was one character, yes, it's fine. If it's every female character, then there's kind of an issue.
Yeah.
And at least like they fix it with some of the skins. It's just like, and I know they've reworked a few of them to fix it a little bit, but like some of the base skins are a little meh. I mean, even with Caitlyn, it's still like that issue. She looks like a fucking pinup model. Like in her base skin. I really like her new design in Arcane. It was very good.
Yeah. I mean, you got her Arcane skin for free. So,
yep.
Yeah, that's just the thing, is just like, you can really, really have good female leads who don't need to be, it doesn't need to be shoved into the viewer's face that they're strong and female. You want to make good examples for young women? Have good, innately female leads.
Just make a cool character.
Don't need to justify that they're actually strong. You know, don't have male characters there just for the sake of being pigs to be beaten up by your woman to show how strong they are. That's very weak, and it shows that your character is very weak and needs to be shown how strong they are. You know, you can just have, like in Arcane, no one would question Vi's a badass with how much she kicks ass in that movie. No one would question Jinx as a badass. No. And Jinx has a lot more skin heavy look, you know, with tattoos and a midriff and all that kind of stuff. And yet you don't feel like she's being sexualized for it in Arcane.
Yeah, it's just a design. Like at that point, it's just like, oh, that's her get up. Cool.
You know, it's
the
just
focus is like her story.
Yeah, and it really comes across that way. She's also not given ridiculously big boobs for no reason. So, you know, there's that. There's a lot of things, like, when it comes to characters and like romance or anything like that, anything can be added to a story and make it good. You want a romance, you can make it good. You want characters who defeat not gender norms, but like societal norms. Like, you can do that by writing it really well and not pandering. But they don't have to be in your stories. You don't have to have a romance. That DM I mentioned before who says you have to have characters get married in your game, it's so arbitrary and so against the idea of narratives in general. That means to get a thumbs up on his list, you have to try to do that with your players, and this is like, ugh.
Yeah, like, if you want to have a good game, force this on your players.
And not only that, but like, some people just have trouble setting boundaries. And it should not be made an expectation of a relationship in a game, because there's people who will take abuse of that. There's a lot of very, very thirsty, nerdy people out there who will take any opportunity.
Yeah.
They do it anyway. There's a lot of, like, Crit Crab does a lot of interesting videos of D&D horror stories, and I've heard a lot of really creepy guy ones, but there's also some creepy girl ones with girls who just like, I'm cute, so you have to do this thing with my character. And it's like, why are you so desperate?
Just let me kill this goblin.
Can't you see I'm busy here?
I'm fighting like ghosts, dude.
By the way, I'm working on the sorcerer video. I found out the shadow bloodline sorcerer has a really funny ability where they can steal their opponent's shadow, and if they fail the check, they can start throttling and choking that person's shadow out and doing damage to them. I find that so fucking funny. Cool. Just I don't know if the edit would be worth it, but I'd love to do a Homer Simpson meme of him choking Bart, only it's a shadow instead.
That would be a little complex, yeah.
It'd be a little complex, but man, would it be a good would it be a good meme?
Man. Yeah, that see, I guess it also helps that like I personally think that it is super fucking funny, the idea of someone like tangible hurting an incorporeal creature. That's what I built Bishop to do. It never came up, but I really just wanted him to choke slam a ghost. Like I wanted like a ghost to be like, haha, these people, you can't hit me, I'm incorporeal. And then like Bishop grabs it by the throat,
yeah,
slams it on the ground.
Yeah.
I think that's hysterical, like that idea.
But yeah, so you know, there's all kinds of ways you can do things in stories that you can make it interesting. And sometimes it's just not a player's bag, and you gotta respect that. Romance, players not into romance, don't force them into a romance. Well, here's also like a pro tip as a DM here. Never create a narrative with the expectation of putting your players in awkward social situations. Like forcing a relationship on one of them as like your expectation. Like, unless you know your player and you know that's what you want to do, fine. But unless you really know your players well, don't throw in love interests because it gets weird.
It's very weird. Like, I'm not gonna play a game where it's just me flirting with Cameron. That sounds like a fucking weird game. That's why I don't want to do it. I don't like, even if it's like player or DM, either way, it sounds incredibly uncomfortable. So
I would be offended, but you stay in your house all day and paint Warhammer figurines, so I think I can do better.
Probably. I mean, you have done better.
That's true. But, you know. Nah, I'm good. I'm engaged. Force romance on me. It's not forcing if you want it. And I know this is roleplay, but it's not that kind of roleplay. But I will always do my best to appease my players' desire for whatever, you know, narrative they want to tell for their character. If a player really wants to create a romantic interest for their character, I will do my best to make it work, you know. I mean, there was that time at Adventures League where Sean was dating a bunch of people every session with his downtime.
And it was one of the most uncomfortable experiences of my life.
It was funny though.
You made it funny.
Yeah, I handled it like a pro.
You did.
But I know a lot of people who wouldn't.
Yes, I wouldn't have. I would have just been like, I don't want to do that, bro.
Dating sim campaign. A wacky fantasy like dating game, I think would be funny. Mostly because you could make all the contestants just really weird.
True.
go on this date with, Orcus, Demon Lord of the 7th level of the Abyss? I gotta ask, what made you join the show? Incoherent demon noises.
Just opens mouth, screech.
I see. Well, I guess go sit behind curtain number 2. Just sits down, is obviously above the curtain.
It covers his ankle.
You had Graha go to your room, didn't you, Jess?
Is this more Final Fantasy talk?
It's more Final Fantasy.
Okay. All I know is that there's one good character in Final Fantasy 14. That's the dude that's like the child of God. That guy?
Valtteri?
I think so. It's the dude who got suplexed by his dad. Like at Mach 5.
Oh, what? You're talking about Hildebrand.
That's it. I love
and his
him.
dad is Godbert, not God.
Well, God's there.
No, there's no God. Godbert, I mean, he's like a demigod level individual who can even bring life to inanimate objects.
All I know is that he likes to suplex his son.
It's really good.
I saw that cutscene, and because you guys immediately were like, this looks like a character you'd like, Alex. And then you showed me the cutscenes, and you were right.
Yeah, the Hildebrand quest lines are really funny.
I would enjoy those.
You would enjoy those. And to be fair, Jess, I didn't know I was actually picking who came to my room in that scene. I was just like, who would be the most like? I was like guessing who it was supposed to be. I didn't realize I was actually making the choice. So I'm drawing a blank at the moment. There's a hole in my brain. I should know the name. Ishtola. There it is. I had Ishtola come to my room. Because that's who I thought it was going to be. If I had to pick, I probably would have picked Graha, honestly. I love Graha. He's a good boy. But anyway, back to tabletop. It's... I don't know. I guess when it comes to just talking about tabletop, I thought, honestly, talking about long and short campaigns would go a little longer. Usually our topics typically run the length. This one didn't, though.
I mean, there's only so much you can say of find the length of a campaign that works for you.
Yeah, there's only so many ways you can say that. We did spend an hour talking about it, though.
That's something. I mean, it's certainly not a problem to like pick a topic and then kind of just chat for a little bit, like chat.
We do that normally, though.
Yeah, true, but it's fine.
I will say there will be no Shadows That Left tomorrow. For those who are still watching, we had some call outs, and so rather than playing with an insufficient number of players, we're just gonna skip for the week. We'll be back next week, though. Next week's schedule is as normal, and on the following week, next Tuesday, I'm gonna check with everyone, but I want to see if we can do the session 0 for the new Pathfinder game coming. So look out for that. It'll probably be on Tuesday, if any day. So new campaign starting next week. Just gotta make sure everyone's gonna be available at that time. So I'll go make sure Booter's available at that time. And we might have the first session of that Christmas week. I will probably be gone that Thursday through the weekend. Probably, or at least getting ready. So no table talk on the 23rd. And I think we gotta figure out, because you're not gonna be here on the 30th, right?
Nope.
Okay, so I'll have to figure out something to do on the week of the 30th as well. Yeah, also be on the lookout. We have both Sorcerer coming out this Saturday and Barbarian coming out the Saturday after, edited by myself and Alex. So you get some. We're gonna see whose video does better.
Are you ready to see a lot of clips of Berserk, everyone? They'll probably just be like 1 or 2, but I'll find a spot.
Oh, we're talking about schedules here. Jess is making Slug disassociate. But after Christmas week, we should be back to things relatively as normal beyond the table talk we were having for that week. So
Yep. I'll be really happy to, because like once I get back from my Christmas trip with family, I should have like something consistent. Like, oh my god, because these few months have been really wild, because I've been having to go back and forth constantly, like calling out of shit, because like I have family things to take care of, I have these things to take care of. Now it's like I have a good stretch where there's like no family holidays, no birthdays, like nothing.
I wish I could feel that, but it just, for me, it's sort of like, oh god, family stuff, and then it's like, okay, now back to work.
I just have 3 months of it, is the thing. Because for all the birthdays and holidays where I'd have to do it are in October, November, and December. It's all 3 months.
Yeah,
so it's always the hardest holiday season for me. Like it's always complicated.
And I'm sorry, Slug, but that's the internet. You're gonna have to deal. And no wonder why you're such a brat, Jess. The middle child's always a brat.
True. I can relate. I am also a middle child.
I can't, because I just have me and my sisters, so there's no middle. I mean, technically I'm the middle of my dad's children, but we didn't know I had an older sister until I was like 13.
I can't ban Jess Slug. That would go very poorly for me tomorrow.
True.
Or it's nepotism at work.
You know, I really can't wait now. I hope the stream part of this becomes big and we just get a lot of people and just have a lot of people get banned, just so we can see the ban requests for people trying to get back into the chat. I've been watching those videos recently.
They're so funny.
And they're so funny.
I love fucking Ludwig's ban requests. That man has an incredibly high ban rate. So what I'm hearing, Jess, is that I actually can ban you and I won't face any immediate repercussions. And as a man who doesn't think of repercussions...
I'm a man who never thinks 23 hours ahead.
No. Saturday doesn't exist. There's only Friday and Thursday.
I mean, we'll have to see what your unban request will be, Jess. If it's good, it makes me laugh, then you can come back.
If it's wrong, then sorry, and also your IP banned.
If it's really terrible, I'll ban Slug too. So you get to pick whether you want back or you want to be petty. See, it's a win-win either way. You can't lose. Ah, I see. So you picked petty as your answer. And there's no right and wrong on the internet, Slug. There's only opinions.
Yep, and you cannot change them. If you change
and my opinion is whatever makes content.
Yes. And see, all we've banned
See,
in this channel is bots, so we can't get any funny ban requests at this stage either.
Yeah, for now. But
your cat jumped on your lap same time Ripley did.
Oh, she was actually going down.
Oh, okay. I saw
Down and out.
Celeste move. Yeah, Ripley immediately at the same time jumped on my desk.
Celeste's not a very cuddly cat.
Ripley is. If you watch the Monday game, good segments of it are just me holding Ripley because she's decided I will sleep on his chest.
Oh, you know what? For the last 10 minutes, I'm going to talk about mozzarella sticks.
What?
As random as that is.
Okay.
So I was like, man, those mozzarella sticks in the freezer look good. So I went and made a bunch of mozzarella sticks, right? Started eating them, and I'm like, you know, I just don't like mozzarella sticks. So I went and got some ketchup, and I ate it, and I'm like, this was a lot better. It was a lot better. And I was like really tasting. I'm like, I'm really mostly just tasting ketchup. So I can't eat straight ketchup. I just can't do it. But with mozzarella sticks, ketchup's better. So am I eating the mozzarella sticks to make the ketchup better, or is the ketchup making the mozzarella sticks better? It's a very legitimate question that was coming up to me.
I think you just want to eat ketchup, bro.
No, I just think that mozzarella sticks are garbage.
Well, you're wrong. You're wrong about this.
What? How am I wrong?
Mozzarella sticks are great.
Okay, that's not a point.
Yeah, it's a point.
It's a declaration.
They taste good. Counterpoint, they taste good. You're wrong.
They just taste terrible. Like, okay, not terrible. They're okay. I had a few. I had them. I cooked them right.
Cheese. It's just cheese. Like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
You smell like cheese?
I mean, would you just sit there and eat a straight, like, stick of string cheese? Not peel it.
I'd try it. I'd make a mozzarella stick out of it.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like, I had a few, and then it wasn't good after that.
Also, yeah, you should be eating mozzarella sticks with ranch. It's a much better dip for it.
Your white cheese is supposed to be godly? What?
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know either.
I mean, white cheese... no, I mean, the only good white cheese, like, is Parmesan and then, like, cheddar that isn't, like, dyed yellow.
I disagree. Pepper jack cheese is delicious.
Pepper jack is good, but it's a good sandwich cheese. It's a good, like, thing that's there. It cannot be the brunt of your thing.
I don't think cheese is.
White people do love white people do love cheese. That is very true.
Who doesn't love cheese?
Mainly white people. I mean, cheese platters. I have like a lot of like relatives that do like the fucking white wine mom cheese platter shit.
Well, no, I'm saying who doesn't like cheese?
Lactose intolerant people.
That's a lie. I've heard so many lactose intolerant people who bemoan the fact that they can't have cheese.
Cheese is very good.
It's very good.
And mozzarella sticks are really good. Point proven.
I don't know. Like I said, like I had it.
Deeper...
It was nice, stretchy cheese. It was all good, you know, whatever. But it just like after like 3 or 4 sticks, I was just like, ugh.
On a deeper like philosophical level, I think in reality, you just want the freedom to eat ketchup, but you feel like you're being held back by like everyday standards.
No, see, that's the thing. I don't actually like ketchup on like most things. But when I was eating it with the mozzarella stick, the ketchup was the only like actual flavor I was getting out of it. And I was just like,
wait, did you not season it?
I just had boxed mozzarella sticks.
Bro,
I don't know what you mean.
You still gotta add a little bit of seasoning.
Like, what seasoning? What
like
seasoning?
Some salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Add a little salt and pepper.
I'll go cook the ones I got remaining.
Or alternatively, if you have it, like if you have Johnny salt.
We do.
Yeah, use that. It makes
All right,
it makes it
I'll
way
try
better.
I'll try that.
Like half of the frozen food, you need to season it like you're seasoning real food.
See, why the fuck am I buying pre-made food then?
Just that doesn't mean you can't season it. It's gonna be bland.
It should be already seasoned. If that makes it better. It doesn't take
that long to season it. It is like a shake of a salt shaker, and you're good.
Long or short mozzarella sticks to stay on topic.
I've only seen one size of mozz stick, so I don't know.
I've seen a variety of like ones that have like the same-ish length. I would say long, because then you get less breading, some more cheese.
When I think of a short mozzarella stick, I think of a fucking like fried cheese curd.
I think of like cheese nuggets. I
think we're thinking the same thing.
Maybe.
Like the stuff you get at like that they sell at fucking Dairy Queen.
Never. I legitimately like cheese and things, but I rarely get like cheese specific dishes.
I mean, that's a shame. You should.
If you ask me, like, I love cheese. Don't get me wrong. Like a lot of Mexican food, they always put a lot of cheese in it. It's always really good. Like some real good made quesadillas.
Oh, yeah.
Delicious.
Also, what is a Dodger dog?
It sounds like some Californian specific. Give me Dodger dog length. It's either California specific or furry specific.
I see. I'm just a simple country boy, so I don't really know what that is. Sounds like a big city thing.
I was gonna say, like, you used to live in Silverdale, which is like right a hop skipping away from Seattle, but it's not a big city area.
Yeehaw.
And nah, fuck, you're not no country kid. If anything, you're like backwoods kid.
I'm gonna get my
Jersey kids.
I'm gonna get a Ford Focus and drive out to the middle of nowhere and shoot my gun.
Now you're just making fun of my family.
I have a case full of Bud Light and I'm ready to go deer hunting.
Yeah, you want to get up at buttfuck early in the morning, Alex, and go fishing?
That was awful.
I like fishing, don't get me wrong, but like
I've never got it.
I've never understand the people who describe fishing as like the euphoria. Like they just can't wait to go out and catch fish.
I've been fishing a few times and I've never caught a fish.
You're bad.
Yes.
I'm also 3-year-olds catch fish.
I'm also impatient. Okay, so it is an LA thing.
And so you want a
you want a hot dog like the mozzarella stick. I really like that idea. I like the idea of a really long mozzarella stick.
Of course you would just like that idea.
I think that just would look really funny if you're like, I'd like some mozzarella sticks, please. Like, no, we sell one. It's like, excuse me?
Just pulls out a cord, a mozzarella stick, and snips it off. There you go.
That would be so funny. Oh, that'd be really, really funny. I wish someone somewhere did that.
It's like, stop reading your dad's mugs.
I love those and fucking wine mom quotes. They always kill me.
I love making fun of the Joker quotes that people put on their Facebooks.
Oh my God, those are
trying
so
to be
funny.
deep.
No, they're so fucking cringy. I'm a
they're
big fan.
So cringy. It's just like, you can't look at it seriously, so you assume it's a joke, but then you just watch the person who posts 10 of them in a row, and you're like, oh.
Honestly, I'm also a big fan of people trying to make like deep content on the internet, like make those little like deep memes. There's like a lot of them. Like the one that comes up a lot is social media apps is like pills. It's like, which ones are you addicted to? And it's like the Uber app like LinkedIn, like fucking like Google Play, and it's like, yes, I'm addicted to Uber. Or like, oh my god, yeah, the one that I get is I'm 14 and this is deep. Like those posts.
Oh, those posts, yeah.
Those are very funny, and I also love it because they're always so easy to edit. Like, I don't know why, but they make those pictures so easy to remove the text and add your own.
Good templates.
That's what they are. Most of like the best memes come from like deep templates.
All right, Jess is giving this hypothetical unban request to you, Alex.
Okay. Hypothetical unban. Let's see it. I have your account clicked, so I'm ready. I'm waiting with bated breath.
Bated breath. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh shit. Well, because I think it'd be funny.
Alex, no. You just deleted all of Jess's comments.
Don't do it. There you go. You're all good, Jess.
Alex, you're a terrible person.
I know.
Why would you do this? Jess is so sweet.
They are.
I'm just sitting here watching, and just all of Jess's comments just went away.
It only took away 2 of them. Oh no, it did take away.
No, it took all of them.
Oh no. It was a joke. It was a joke, Jess.
Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and end it for today.
No, please, I know you can't heal me anyways. I'm undead. It's not a threat anymore. If you threatened you'd start healing me, I'd be really worried.
Thank y'all so much for watching this far. We kind of went off the deep end with this one, but it's just fun to sit and talk. Talked about a good number of subjects while Alex is getting yelled at here in the chat.
I am getting yelled at. This is not going to go good tomorrow.
No, it's not.
I'm in trouble.
So no Shadows That Laugh tomorrow, but I will be taking that time to make some videos, and depending on how things go, we might start seeing 2 videos a week on the channel.
Very nice.
You can yell Final Fantasy 14 at me, sure. I mean, you kind of already did. It's all in caps. But all kinds of fun stuff. Actually, after we're done here, I'm actually gonna hop into editing another video. So
nice.
It's going to be a time, but I think we're gonna get to the point here soon where we need to start producing more videos on the channel.
Probably.
And I've been dreading the time, but I don't know, because we are right up on the holiday season. I'm already like preloading, so I don't know if I need to add more to it.
Yeah. Could always make it for a 2022 thing.
What are these weird comments? I thought before there was like Vartech or something like that. I thought they were just mentioning like a particular NPC in Fallout.
No.
But then this one came around and I was like, okay.
It's apparently a thing. Like, it's just a thing that happens in YouTube comments.
That's so strange. Why? I mean, I guess it's better than some malicious link, but still.
Malicious link or, racism.
Racism, yeah.
Yeah. The fucking moment like months ago when I saw like the names that were with the fucking like racism like slur bot group, and I immediately like jumped to it, like banning them immediately before anything happened.
Yeah, it's good job. Anyway,
we saw Haas, and I was like, I know what that is.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. Good luck with your games, and leave the bad luck to me. Let's go ahead and say goodnight.
I already did.
Oh, well then fuck
you.
You
Don't get a second one.
That's fair. You know what? That's fair. I don't pay you for 2 good nights.
Yeah, exactly. You don't pay me at all.
Exactly.